as we get started in 2021, it's important for you to plan for the year. And in this particular video, I will share with you my own vision board for 2021 and how I'm making it just a little different than the one I did about 2-3 years ago, which was the last time I actually did a vision board. I didn't do one in 2019 or 2020. And now I just want to do something different that I can be able to actually look at every single day and make sure that I achieve it in 2021. So follow along in this video. Let's get those credits rolling. Someone said that failing to plan is planning to fail. Someone also said that a lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on our own, but that's a different story. In this video, I want to share with you some of the things that I'm putting into consideration as I make my own vision board, which are things that I think you should also put into consideration so that you can make a vision board that actually works and will work for you as well. The number one thing for my vision board this year is to make plans that will make me want to act. This is from setting goals that are actually lofty, not just aiming low but aiming high. This will actually make me wake up every single morning wanting to achieve these goals that I have set. And that is something that every single person who's making a vision board needs to put into consideration. If you're going to make a vision board, then you need to make sure that every single moment you can be able to look at this vision board and then get to work on it. The second thing that I will be doing with my vision board this year is to celebrate the goals that I have set as they manifest. It's usually commonplace that people look at their vision board at the end of the year if they have achieved those things. But for me, I want to make sure that every goal that I put on my vision board, I will also go ahead and make sure that I celebrate it, no matter how small it looks. Anytime that I achieve something that's on my vision board, I'll actually go ahead and celebrate it. And of course, we'll be doing it here on YouTube. It may not be on the main videos. It may be in my community. It may be in the stories. It's also going to be on Instagram stories as well. All these places where we can be able to share and come together as a community to be able to bring these achievements and celebrate them. Number three thing that I'm putting into consideration is comparing only to my past self. If I've been able to achieve a particular thing in another year, this year I want to do it better, I want to do it bigger. All this is so that I can be able to make myself better. One of the goals that I will be setting will probably be about the growth of this YouTube channel, which I'll share a bit later on. But this is just looking at what have I achieved in 2019, what have I achieved in 2020, and then looking at what do I want to achieve in 2021. There's another video that I will actually do that is talking about all the things to do with my YouTube channel in the last 2 years. So make sure to subscribe so that you will see that video once it's out. The number four thing that I want to do, especially now when it comes to my vision board, is to move on no matter what is going on. Sometimes we pause because of external circumstances, like we did in March of last year, because of the fact that we were not sure exactly what was going on. So for me, on my vision board is to make sure that I constantly am moving ahead. Even if I'm crawling, I'm always moving ahead. Number five thing that I'm actually considering when I'm doing my vision board this year is to aim even higher. Sometimes we look at the goals that we have and we set those that we think, given the present circumstances, we can be able to achieve. Like, I'm currently at 19,000 and it's possible to just look and say I can get to 30,000. And that's a reachable goal for me and for the size of the channel that I have, because of the fact that in 2020 I got about 10,000 subscribers, and so it's feasible to think that I can get another 10,000 in this year. But for me and the vision board that I'm actually setting this year, and what I want you to do is look at the goals that you have, look at what, without breaking a sweat, you would actually achieve, and then put a markup on that. What else can you achieve apart from that? And for me, those are the things that I'll actually be looking at. So for the next part of this video, I actually want to share with you what's going to actually be on my vision board. And then once it's complete, I'll actually share with you the way the whole vision board is going to look at. So the way I do my vision is I'm doing it digital. And this is the way I did it in 2017. And in the one for 2017, I hope I can get that screen grab and show it to you. I actually said being my own boss. Now, I didn't achieve that in 2018, but I achieved that in 2019 when I actually quit my paying job at a bank to pursue this love that I love doing. And of course, I'll share that video because it's extremely emotional, but I'll share it in another video. But the reason for that particular vision board being digital is so that I can actually be able to design it the way I want. I'll actually be looking for images on Pinterest that match with exactly what I'm looking for. I have an idea of exactly what I want to achieve, and then at the end of it all, I will now do an A1 photo mount, which I will actually be placing in my YouTube studio. So once my YouTube studio is done, which is coming about in the next 2 or so months, once I actually start working on the YouTube studio, I'll share that with you as well. But once that is done, that's exactly where my vision board is going to be. So here are some highlights of what exactly I want to achieve in 2021. That's exactly what I'm putting on my vision board for 2021. There are two main sections for my vision board this year, and one is my personal side, the things that I want to achieve personally, and the second has to do with the business. Now, I run a business that is called Mumo Photography on Instagram and on Facebook. If you search for Mumo Photography, you will be able to see the work that we have done. So this is a vision board for the two. I explained in a previous video that my personal and my business brands will be coming together, and we will be growing the two together. And that is also guiding the fact that, of course, as we are doing this video, we'll also be able to make sure that the two mash together. So the first thing that I want to do in 2021 personally is to spend more time with my family. When I was employed, it got to a point where I was leaving the house at 6 a.m., probably coming to the house at about 8 p.m. And that would be going on for 5 days in a week. And then on Saturdays, after leaving the office, after that time is when I'd now be doing my side hustle. So I didn't get to spend enough time, especially with my girls. I have 2 daughters and my wife as well. So I want to make it a personal effort to make sure that I create time for my children and my spouse as well, so that I can be able to grow these relationships even more, because the quality time that you spend with family is worth everything in the world. The second thing that I'm actually placing on my vision board this year, personal, has to do with supporting church work. I am a Christian and I keep myself involved in church affairs quite a lot. And this year I want to make sure that I support the work that is going on in my church and also involve myself in the church affairs even more. In my church, I do media for the church where we broadcast the live services and we actually edit them. I'm in charge of the social media pages for the church. So I want to create more time to put into this and even financially to make sure that I also support the work that is going on in the house of God. The number 3 thing that I want to do in 2021 that's personal is to be debt free. Now I'll talk about financial freedom and getting debt free once I'm actually done with the process myself, so that I'm telling you things that I have actually done. At this particular moment, I'm not really free to be able to share with you the journey that I am on right now, but I'm actually on the journey to try and pay off all the major debts that I have, to make sure that I am financially free and all this. But I want to make sure that financial freedom is something that I look at every single day, and that will impact my personal life, my family, and the business as well, if we can be able to have a manageable debt in the whole business or even be debt free. That is something that we really want to make sure that it's done in 2021. Number 4 thing that I want to do this year is to travel. And number 1, I want to travel to as many African countries as possible. And the reason for this is so that I can be able to do an international version of telling the entrepreneur story. And of course, we will be traveling in Kenya a lot during this year. But apart from the African countries and apart from traveling across this country and going to different places and listening to different stories that I will bring to you as well, what I actually want to do this year, and that will come a little later in the year, is to travel for YouTuber conferences that will be held in the United States. And I'm actually hoping just to save enough for that, because I wanted to do that in 2020, but of course that was not possible. But I'm hoping to do it in 2021. So my passport better be ready, because I'm going to fill it up this year with the travel that we are going to do. And number 5 now has to do with the YouTube channel. At the time of recording this video, we are just above 19,000 subscribers, but the aim for this year is to finally get our silver play button. Yes, you heard that right. This year we are aiming to get to 100,000 subscribers on this particular channel. And I know how to get it done, and I have an idea of what I need to do in order to get there. But this is just a sneak peek of what exactly we will do. So apart from the fact that I know in the past 2 years I've done about 50 videos a year, this year we are hoping to double that, and I'm hoping to actually be able to do a bit more than that. And I know that doing the topics that you guys love, that also bring in subscribers, which I'll talk about in a different video, showing you exactly where we've been. But I know that if I'm able to put this in practice, then we can be able to actually make it happen. And a secret tip just for this video, there's a book that I actually pre-ordered that I'll place in the description below, that is going to be the one that I will consume with every single fiber of my body. It's called the YouTube Formula. It's done by an expert on YouTube. His name is Daryl Eves. It's coming out in Feb, but I already pre-ordered it because I want to read as much as I can on it. But that's what I'll be following, just to make sure that I keep growing the channel and also growing the brand as well. On the business side, what I'm actually hoping to do, the number 1 thing that I actually want to do as soon as possible is to do a YouTube studio. at the moment the way I shoot my videos is not very convenient, so I need a dedicated space where I can be able to just turn the camera on and everything gets rolling. Because with this kind of setup that I actually have right now, there's a lot of back and forth just to make sure that everything is set up, making sure the lighting is okay, all these things every single time after I'm done with the video, setting down as well. So having a YouTube studio will actually help me to be able to make more content quickly, because sometimes some of these ideas just hit you and you want to do the video as fast as possible. So just having the opportunity of turning one switch and everything comes on and everything is always on the ready for you to be able to film is something that I'm looking at. I have already engaged an interior designer to be able to assist me with just bringing my thoughts down to a design that I'll actually work with, and this is something that I'll actually take you on the journey for. So the YouTube studio is number one on my agenda for the business, because that will help to scale the content that we are doing. But number two, we also want to open a physical studio. So I already have identified a place where we could put the studio, and once this is done, we'll actually be able to take you on the journey while we are doing the construction there, while we are preparing the place and the opening of the place. You'll actually be able to see all that, because I'll be sharing more of that on the channel. And then once it is open, we'll open it to the public, and of course you as my subscribers are always welcome. If you want to meet me, that will probably be where to come and do it from. And of course you'll get a photo shoot there, and I'll have discount codes, I'll have all these great offers for you to come and support the business that we are actually placing up. So that is something that will actually help us to grow and scale the business even more, and it's something that I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping that I can take you on the journey with me. The number three thing that I want to place on my vision board is high value jobs, and here I'm actually going to place a check for $1 million bob, because those are the kind of tenders that we'll be looking for, the kind of jobs that we'll be looking for. Of course, once we get our first $1 million shilling job, I will share it with you, and of course all the joy that comes with it, and we will be able to actually grow the business. I'm hoping to also grow the team. Right now we are 2 of us. I'm hoping to grow the team to 5 permanent people that will be working under the brand, working for me, and making sure that we grow the business as well as we continue going on. So expect this to be a year where we are going to put in a lot more effort on the personal front and on the business front as well. What does your vision board entail in 2021? Kindly share with me in the comments below. I'd love to see the vision board that you have placed. So what you can do in your Instagram stories, tag me and I'll share with my followers as well. And if you want to start a business in Kenya, check out the videos that are showing up on the end screen. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.